Welcome to Washington Park Ice Arena. I am Owen Backer, joined alongside me Mason Heller, producing for us Ian Paprocki, Ray Dickerson, the third sideline reporting, and of course, Robert Preble on PA. It is a very pink day here at Washington Park Ice Arena, as you can probably see. Mason Heller, how are we feeling today?
Absolutely excited to be back here at Washington Park Ice Arena. It's beautiful and pink, and the boys are donning the jerseys for the whole night, which I'm super excited for. Excited to be alongside you our fourth straight year together. So let's get it started, shall we?
Let's get it started. Oklahoma State and Missouri did battle in Washington Park twice last year. Missouri winning both games. A lot of turnover with this Oklahoma State roster. 14 freshmen. So it should be a very different game than last year's contest. Oklahoma State wins this face-off three, and a shot immediately, and it's blockered away by Joey Christoffel. Another heads-up save by Joey Christoffel. Oklahoma State now able to regain possession of the puck in the neutral zone. It's Jones suits this one, and that was Danny Rudman who's been moving up the first line. He had 2 goals in last week's Saturday contest against Iowa, an 8-7 victory for the Tigers. A wild one that was. Working his way in now was Green, but cleared out by the Tigers. And now that first line for Missouri will get a change. Brennan Chin and Carson Weber, the first pair defensemen. Weber changes, and Aaron Hemmer is now on. He played first pairing defense last game. He's been a forward for 2.5 years for the Tigers, and now working his way in. Oklahoma State tried to center that one, but nobody was home. Ethan DeGroat with the puck now. Ethan DeGroat working his way, and he's got Carapella trailing behind him. Ethan DeGroat tried to center that one to Carapella, but would not go. Battling for it behind the Oklahoma State net. Taken on and just past stick of a Missouri defender and all the way down behind the net of Joey Christoffel.
Keep an eye out for those Green brothers, Zion and Alex, 2 freshman transfers from the Knoll. Both of them averaging a point a game in that junior league. They're going to be weapons for the Cowboys tonight.
Absolutely, and I mean, we saw the first chance of the game for Oklahoma State came courtesy of one of those Green brothers. So yeah, definitely something to keep watch for the rest of this game, is both sides will go for a line change. Thomas Finansky from Missouri out this contest. He has been so solid, the freshman, so far this season, especially last game. He had a goal, a couple helpers, so tough loss for Missouri, but next man up is the philosophy as Joey Christoffel plays this puck. Pressed, battling for it. D3 call-up Kyle Setnar is in this game as well, not wearing his usual number 18. That is still pressed as this one is kicked away by Joey Christoffel with ease.
Heffington also out for the Tigers, as well as Mason Buddy. 2 big losses for the black and gold. Both of those, one a freshman, the other a junior, producing so well for the Tigers.
Or should we say black and pink, with a little gold for this contest.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit of gold on the pants and gloves. This one is iced. We got our first real stoppage of the game with 17:32 left, and not much going so far. Both teams kind of feeling each other out. Last year, which again, looking at last year's game, big grain of salt, because it was
absolutely
a 6-2 win for Missouri and then a 10-3 win for Missouri. But this is a completely different Oklahoma State team.
Missing about 14 freshmen on that team.
Face-off taken by Oklahoma. Over the retained possession in the Missouri zone. They have the slight advantage. This one sent up to the blue line for Jones. Jones, a shot and kicked away by Joey Christoffel. Center now, turning shot, didn't get much on it. The save by Christoffel. Rebound attempt, couldn't get much on it. Another shot off the back of the glove of Christoffel and a flurry.
He tried the miss again.
He tried it. Oh my goodness, a flurry
Cooper
of saves.
Matthews trying to go top bins on Joey Christoffel. He says no. So far, these freshmen for the Cowboys absolutely flying out. It's been a bombardment for Christoffel in the crease so far. How are we feeling about it so far?
A bombardment it has been. Something that Joey Christoffel is no stranger to. He's been so solid all year this season. Only let up 1 goal against Iowa in his last start. But you'd like to get a little more offense going here to start the game for Missouri. Give your goaltender some relief as Brennan Chin zips this one around. Working their way through the neutral zone is Missouri. Andrew Knapp cutting his way in, along with Luke Watson and Danny Rudman, that new first line. Rudman taking the role of Finansky as that puck is chipped to the Oklahoma State net and frozen.
Oklahoma State so far looking very strong in their own zone. The Green brothers forcing Andrew Knapp wide. They've clearly studied that that man has a wrister that's worth stopping.
Absolutely. The best you can do is just try to keep him to the outside and not let him get anywhere near the slot. That blast went pretty much nowhere, and Oklahoma State takes it back. Missouri able to do nothing with that offensive zone face-off win. A shot blockered away by Joey Christoffel. Missouri back with it. Chips this one high, but not out. Here are the Cowboys. The short side shot and went wide. Christoffel on his toes that one. He may have got a piece of it. Battle on the boards. Moger with it from Norway. And Christoffel is down. I didn't quite see what happened, but I think it's safe to assume he got hit there.
Holding his head, obviously,
Yeah.
You hate to see that. Looks like he'll get up on his own accord. Number 6, Moger. Eric from Asker, Norway, one of 3 Norwegian transfers for the Cowboys. You'll see 2 more of them tonight. Those 3, very little known about them, don't have a much recorded stat profile on elite prospects. We checked beforehand, believe us, but rare to find so many people coming from just one place, and they'll also be part of that 14 true freshman group for the Cowboys.
Joey Christoffel back in his net, so appears he was a little shaken up, but nothing terribly serious. Now the Tigers have a brief 3-on-2 if they can hurry. DeGroat, he's going to get this one to Bramstead, passes it on, and a save made. He tried to pass that one back to DeGroat, and that was the best chance for Missouri so far in this young game, and a good save.
Jason Thomas, the OSU backup goaltender, making an absolute racket over there on the bench. The arena not super loud yet tonight. Hoping to get a little more from this hometown pink crowd.
It is packed here tonight. Their fans showed out. Missouri football week, you think maybe in here we've got a delayed penalty call, so Christoffel's on the bench. 6-on-5. Rudman is coming off the bench for the extra attacker. Puck is touched, and we are going to have our first special teams play of the game. It's going to be a Missouri power play.
Well, we got to mention our sponsor, don't we?
We'll get there. It's a Gumby's Pizza power play.
There we go.
There you go.
Tigers so far this year looking very successful in the power play, particularly in that game against Arkansas. They converted 3 for 3 on their chances after missing a significant opportunity with the 5-minute major in the first period. Having both Andrew Knapp and Ethan DeGroat on this power play, at least in the dying minutes of it, has worked well for the Tigers and Coach Locke, and they'll look to convert here again.
That they will. Face-off taken, but sent all the way back, and it's a foot race. Luke Watson's going to have to get there. A good stick lift. He's able to get it to Captain Andrew Knapp. Nice hustle there, but wasn't able to do all too much for Cowboys. Now it's Prest entering the zone. He pulls that one in deep. Luke Watson, the freshman, he's going to go for it. Puck taken by Oklahoma State and cleared out once more.
Luke Watson, the freshman from our alma mater, Kirkwood.
Yeah, first line, it's that first line, but Andrew Knapp's moved to the blue line, and Prest is the center. Here's a chance in front. Puck kind of popped out in the crease, but an easy save, and so the PKers as well as the power play unit will both go for a change with 1:18 left here on this power play. Not too many chances for Missouri. Their power play looks so good against Iowa, and it's having a bit of a sluggish start.
Especially in that 8-7 shootout.
Yeah, ridiculous. Face-off won by Bramstead. Zitzman sends it over to Ethan DeGroat. Ethan DeGroat top the circle back to Zitzman. Zitzman fakes a shot. Blue line. Now he will shoot, looking for a deflection, but it didn't go. And this one is blasted down by Oklahoma State. This power play is now 50% expired. 1 minute remaining.
Zitzman getting an upgraded role under the new admin of Coach Locke. Now quarterbacking this power play for the Tigers.
Yeah, and he's been so good, offensively and defensively this year. I really like him going there. Aaron Hemmer is also out there, who's obviously a very offensively minded defenseman, as he's traditionally a forward. And this puck's going to go right to Hemmer. He shoots this one, backdoor. He scores! Power play goal for Missouri! And just like that, they've got a lead.
It's number 21, Blake Houston, the sophomore, with it. And the Tigers continue their power play success. It's 1-0 here in Washington Park.
What a great series there. The first power play unit not able to get much done. That second unit jumps on the ice, and they show that they can be just as lethal. A great series of passing, and Missouri's got an early lead here.
Aaron Hemmer with the assist on that, once again showing how invaluable he is to that Tigers power play unit.
Yeah, we were just talking about him.
He's got what I believe is his 9th point of the year.
Yeah, 9 points for number 9. Weber and Chin, the defenseman, out. Oklahoma looking to respond. The Tigers had a lot of trouble last week in that 8-7 victory of giving up goals right after they themselves scored. So see if they can react and stifle this Oklahoma State counterattack that is no doubt coming. That one's sent down into the glove of Joey Christoffel and easily collected. DeGroat and Hemmer picking up the assists on that. Ethan DeGroat also has been maybe a little slow start to the year, but he's been racking up points the last couple series, so you like to see that from him.
Yeah, he's continuing the success that he's always had on this Tiger team. The man they call Magic, he's always had silky mitts, and he's continuing that trend this year. Now, the rivalry known as Bedlam is between Oklahoma State and OSU, but so far in the offensive zone for the Cowboys, it's been Bedlam. They've been bombarding Christoffel. They're going to keep it up after this.
Oklahoma State defeated Oklahoma's Division I team a couple weeks ago, so that's definitely something to be aware of, that this is not the same Oklahoma State we are familiar with. And that was on September 12th, the last time this Oklahoma State team actually played, so they might be shaking off a little bit of rust here. Or they could be not as tired out as Missouri has been, who's played a series every weekend since early September, however way you want to look at. The teams are just playing catch back and forth, looking to break out. Andrew Knapp sends this one a beautiful cross-ice pass, working his way in now. Tough shot and a save made. Puck still in Tiger possession. Danny Rudman goes to battle in the corner. Puck pops out. Battling still are the Tigers. And finally, that puck is going to find its way to the stick of an Oklahoma State Cowboy, and now they'll enter the zone. 3-on-4 entering, a tough pass intercepted, but actually Oklahoma State's able to come back with it. It's Roach. Tried to shoot that one in the block by Luke Watson, number 91. And now that first line for Missouri will go for a change.
Keep an eye out on number 15, Corbin Roach, for the Cowboys. He's got an elite wrist shot. We did a little bit of scouting on him before the game. He's one of those freshmen who really is one of those difference makers for the Cowboys. Null experience for number 15. And null experience for a large number of these Cowboys. If you take a look at it, at least 3 of them with 2 seasons in the null, and 1 a former Michigan State transfer from the NCAA. This is a very reloaded orange and black roster that the Tigers are fighting right now, and so far doing a nice job of keeping them at bay.
Yeah, the Null's a good junior league. It seems like they did a lot of scouting there. Face-off won by the Cowboys, but taken by Fred Bramstead. Bramstead gets it up to Ethan DeGroat. DeGroat going east to west, gets this one deep for Carapella. Carapella with the puck at the blue line, a blast, and that one is saved. Puck still in Tiger possession. Battle along the board, still sends up the blue line, and now Missouri will set up a pass from Zitzman. DeGroat still with it, puts us behind the net. Carapella and Bramstead go. Puck's, it jumped out in front of the stick of DeGroat, and it's in! The puck is in the net, and it's another Tiger goal! The puck was ejected from behind the net, right into the crease, and pushed in. And just like that, it's 2-0 out of nowhere. I believe Carapella is going to be given the goal.
The Tigers once again getting gritty in the crease, something that they had to do a lot of against Arkansas, and it rewards them this time. Couple of plays where the puck seemed like it could have been lost. Ethan DeGroat with a bit of a lazy dump out that could have gone the other way, but a heads-up play by Carapella, and he ends up converting on it.
I'm not sure if that's going to be unassisted. I'm not sure who touched it last, but might be another assist for Ethan DeGroat, his second. I thought he might have had a stick on that. Some nice contact in the corner. unpressed, and this puck is sent out. And I like how Missouri's going right back to the attack. Blake Houston, who scored the first goal, chips this one in for Nate Austin, who's going to chase. Yeah, DeGroat is going to get an assist on that.
You may notice the Cowboys start to slow down a little bit. They came out flying with their top two lines. They might have to rely on that third and fourth line depth now, where the Tigers may outmatch them.
Absolutely, and that's where you lean on your goaltender, right? Because Joey Christopher was so solid in the first 5 minutes that Missouri was able to kind of get things in gear and score a couple goals and resist that Oklahoma State onslaught. Now here's Green. Men's pursuing. Sent back to the Oklahoma State blue line. Fires this one on and past Christopher. Green battling for it on the boards. Not too much physicality so far, but it's starting to slowly ramp up as this puck bounces off the ceiling.
We seem to have an issue with that here at Washington Park. We love to ping it off the ceiling.
It is what it is, though. And so it'll be an O-zone face-off for the Cowboys. See if they can win this one. They've been pretty solid on face-offs this game, so this could be a big win and a chance for them to set up. But Missouri's able to come away with that one. Nicely done. And so that Oklahoma State opportunity goes for naught, but an interception in the neutral zone means they're going to come right back at it. Roach tries to get this one in. Now it's Matthews back to Roach. Roach walks in. Shot. That one saved by Christopher and flown into the netting.
Christopher once again allowing himself to lean on his defense and then make the save. You can tell when a goaltender has confidence in their defense, they're willing to cough up the puck every now and then. And Christopher has done a good job of that decision-making tonight. He's quarterbacked the Tigerbacks. I'm thinking of the Razorbacks. It's a bad Freudian slip.
Ooh.
He's quarterbacked the Tigers' offense a couple times tonight, especially on the power play, with the release of his glove.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Missouri with it. That's Owen Walsh. He gives it to Rudman. Rudman's pass to Knapp, intercepted. And a reverse hit by Roach. Roach with it, centering, pass, and a save made by Joey Christopher. What a save. Keep this lead at 2 for Missouri. Another shot. That one's up and into the netting. What an outstanding effort from Roach to stay on the puck, pass it back door, similar to the first goal that Missouri scored. But Joey Christopher able to go post-to-post, sprawling out and make a big save.
Yeah, Christopher not getting any taps on the pads there from his teammates, but I'd argue he deserves a couple. That's a big-time save from a goaltender who really could be playing at a higher level.
Absolutely, Christopher is probably been this team's MVP so far this year, at least one of them. As Moger, the Norwegian, holds the puck, but he can't get it, and it's taken by Luke Watson. Behind the net, Christopher tries to just pass this one in and doesn't go. Taken now at the blue line once more by Moger. Moger tries to pass this one on, blocked by Watson. Watson's done a good job of holding up Moger. A one-time blast from the blue line goes a mile wide, taken by Zitzman. Turned over, the Tigers struggling to get it out. They've gotten possession multiple times, but can't clear that blue line. Chipped high again, and a good keep in by Colley. And no, they're going to say that that was offside with 8:58 left.
Cahill trying to claw that down, but the Stripes aren't going to let that slide. So far, the Tigers staying out of the sin bin, something that plagued them last year. They were one of the more undisciplined teams in the MACHA. But they lead the MACHA tonight as a result of what has been much more disciplined play under the new Locke administration.
Yeah, and the last series was probably the most disciplined series I've ever seen them play. That 8-7 game, even goals were 5-on-5. So not even really penalty kill in that contest. Missouri has been much more disciplined, and obviously they're going to win a lot more games so they can keep that up. Now Brennan Chin gets Fred Bramstead. Bramstead chips at center ice. That is Carapello working his way in. He's muscled off by an Oklahoma State defender. The puck behind the net. Chipped on in a big hit along the boards on Carson Weber, but he's able to keep it in a one-time blast, and that one goes wide. Another shot, that can't find its way through traffic. DeGroat pursues. Tripped up along the boards. No penalty call. I think that was just a bit of a tumble there taken in the corner. Now Oklahoma State might get caught in a line change. Chin works his way and blasts that one high. Good job by Chin trying to take the best of that limited opportunity, but it doesn't go. 7:50 left in this first period of play. 2-0 for Missouri. If you've just joined us, goal from Blake Houston and Dominic Carapella have given the Tigers this lead. 1 on the power play, 1 5-on-5. It's been a pretty even contest, though. Missouri's been caught a couple times, as now Prest will dump this one in. Chasing is Blake Houston, one of those goal scorers. Nate Austin intercept, playing at the wing. Austin works his way in. Backhand. Shot. Save made. This one back at the blue line now. Puck still in play. Great chance from Nate Austin. Owen Walsh fires this one to save. Block. Rebound. Scores! And guess who it is? Number 21, Blake Houston. A breakout game for this young man. His second of the period. And it's 3-0.
Yeah, Blake Houston, who had spent all year last year at the D3 level, now coming home to roost at the D2. You know, I really had a thought there, and it just kind of blanked on me. I'm not going to lie to you, Mr. Backer. But now coming home at the D2 level and scoring 2 goals on home ice tonight in pink. Maybe it's his color. I think he might have to wear that jersey for the rest of his career here.
Yeah, there you go. And an early 3-0 lead for Missouri, who's had a bit of trouble this season scoring in the first period. They typically use that first period to kind of feel out their opponents and kind of get their gears running and everything in order, but not tonight. They have come out really good in the offensive zone. They've had trouble in the D zone as that puck is iced, but
yeah, a little bit of desperation defense from the Tigers tonight. It hasn't been the most glorious or pretty, but they've got it done, and they've been saved a couple times by Joey Christoffel, who's looked absolutely steadfast tonight. But their forward play is something to be remarked. Blake Houston, obviously, in a breakout game. And on that same note, Ethan DeGroat with 2 helpers so far tonight, he's also looked elite.
Yeah, DeGroat's looked elite. That one just punched out of the air. And we've got a whistle. And yeah, Nate Austin, who's normally that third-line center, he was moved to wing tonight, and he had the primary assist on that last goal. I really like that. He's always been a guy that middle 6 forward, but has that skill that he could show off sometimes. And the way he was able to work in, get that initial backhand chance, and then the pass to Houston for the goal. I mean, a great play from Nate Austin. We like to see that. As this puck is sent on down by Zitzman.
Yeah, the Tigers doing a very good job of working into their own system tonight. It's been apparent that they have something that they're working towards, and they seem to be executing that with every play.
Absolutely agree with you there. And also, I want to point out the defense, that 6-7 pair, which is not an that's not an intentional joke, genuinely. Number 6, Owen Walsh, and number 7, and number 7.
All of the people that are in the arena right now just saw me absolutely mean mug Owen.
No,
that was bad.
What do you want me to do? That's number 6 number 7 Will Peterson, number 6 Owen Walsh have been a really good defensive pair. Peterson picking up an assist on that goal. Walsh didn't get an assist. If there was a tertiary assist, he would have had one. They have really been a solid second pair with the amount of blue line turnover that we've seen with Buddy being out and then obviously Uglo being injured. I really like the way those guys have stepped up. And they just so happen to be the 6-7 pair, unfortunately. But
it is funny. I can't.
If you don't know
what
6-7 means,
no,
ask your kid.
Don't ask your kid. Absolutely not.
It's not inappropriate. It's just stupid.
It's not. It is not inappropriate. For your ears' sake, I would say don't.
Oh, chance for Oklahoma State. They're trying to pass this one into the net. Not even a shot. They just tried to dazzle themselves around Christoffel, but it didn't go. And now Luke Watson and Knapp are working with speed 2-on-2. Nice defense by Oklahoma State, once again keeping those speed guys to the outside, but Rudman was able to come up with the puck and keep it in the Tigers' O zone. Luke Watson chips this one back to Rudman. Rudman throws this one behind the net. Now it's Brennan Chin. Brennan Chin unable to come up with that one, and now Oklahoma State has possession. Weber tried to recover, but now the puck's just sitting in center ice. Nobody has it. Andrew Knapp on the puck. finally Oklahoma State with it. And all things, considered, Oklahoma State's done a very good job containing that Missouri first line. Bonansky is out and has been replaced by Rudman, who's very good and had 2 goals last game. And then obviously it's still Knapp and Luke Watson, and they really haven't done a whole lot, all things considered. Both Missouri goals coming from the bottom 6, or the middle 6, rather. Matthews coming on in, works his way around Weber, shoots this one into the chest of Christoffel, and a save made.
Yeah, like you said, the Cowboys doing a very good job so far of containing that first line. Andrew Knapp not really having many chances. The pairing of Green and Green, both Zion and Alex, have done a very solid job of keeping him at bay, as has number 88, Jones, for the Cowboys. But look for Andrew Knapp to try to get more chances as this Cowboys defense tires up.
And tires up is something to point out, because you can tell that first line for Missouri is wearing them out. They're going into the offensive zone. They're forechecking. They're putting in work. And it is taking a lot of effort from Oklahoma State to, hold them down. And so when the second, third, fourth line for Missouri is able to come out, they have more opportunities. That one ping-pongs off the legs of Bramstead and Peterson. And now DeGroat's working his way in 2-on-2. Him and Carapello, who scored a goal. DeGroat has 2 assists. He tried a nifty move there to get around the defender, but it doesn't work. Now Bramstead's getting this one to DeGroat. He passed between the legs, but it went straight to an Oklahoma State defender. Cowboys coming in now. Matthews with it. Pass along. Shot. Save made by Christoffel. Puck still in play as Christophel's able to get recombobulated, and a bad turnover from OSU lets Missouri get it in deep and get a line change. A crazy save from Christoffel, who has been outstanding tonight.
Yeah, once again proving why he's the starting goaltender for the Tigers. I want to point out number 89, Fred Bramstead. He's looked phenomenal on the second line tonight. He's got an upgraded role. Played more in the third, fourth role for the Tigers previously, but he's looked solid with the extra minutes.
A shot right into the chest of Christoffel, and he gets a well-deserved ovation from the crowd. Maybe not for that save, but for the save he made just previous. I will say a little concerning to me is the Tigers' defense in their own zone. It's been fine in the neutral zone. It's been fine making breakout passes. It's been fine in the O zone. But, I mean, Oklahoma State has a few times been able to pass circles around them, and Christophel's had to make pretty impressive backdoor saves. So I'd like to see them clean that up a little bit. Here's Moger at the blue line. Moger throws this one down. Houston tries to get this one up to Press, but it's intercepted. A high shot. That one whips around the boards. A bit of back and forth chasing for each team. And now Missouri's going to walk out with it. And it's a 3-on-2 if they can hurry. It's Zitzman going in with Press and Houston a shot. That one goes nowhere. And the 3-on-2 opportunity is squandered by the Tigers. Now Oklahoma State's walking in. A shot left kick save from Joey Christoffel. Prest is tripped up. Fans looking for a call. Doesn't look like they're going to get one. Some nice contact in the corner, and puck pursued by, that's Brennan Chin. 2:14 left.
It looked like Prest had just kind of lost his footing there. Obviously, the crowd not happy about it regardless, but referee makes the right call there.
Only one penalty called in this game so far. Really clean contest for both teams. That centering pass was intercepted by a Cowboy. Nelson, the captain, tries to chip it in around Brennan Chin, and he's able to. Centering pass spot. Dangerous one there, and it falls its way to the stick of Menz, who sends that one into the netting. 1:45 left in this period of play. 3-0 Tigers.
Menz probably could have gotten a delay of game penalty there if it weren't for the stick of the OSU Cowboy in his way. Bit of a dangerous dump there, but with little numbers in the defensive zone for the Tigers might have been the smarter play. Cowboys so far firing on all cylinders since that third Missouri goal.
Puck was loose in front, and Christoffel had to make an agile play right there, and another shot saved high on the shoulder of Christoffel, and he's sprawled out on his stomach. They're poking away at it and covered, and how refreshing to see that. There's a battle at the crease. The puck's frozen, and there's no fireworks afterwards. No pushing and shoving.
Yeah,
goes back to their bench.
Seems like the Tigers have decided to focus on school and avoid the extracurriculars. They've done a good job of not jawing and jabbing at the other team. Obviously, this isn't a storied rivalry with this opponent, but still nice to see a little bit less fire.
There were some fireworks last year, definitely. That's the thing about rivalries. They can spawn up at any time, any place between any teams. The long pass by Owen Walsh is iced, and he doesn't look happy with himself there, but Missouri just changed line, so it's not super bad that they have to go do another one. They don't have a tired unit out there.
I suppose that's the hockey equivalent of a Hail Mary.
Yeah, not too many home run passes, but when they connect, it is beautiful to see. So I get the goal there. It just couldn't quite make contact. Andrew Knapp wins the faceoff, but Oklahoma State will skate behind and come out with it. Now Owen Walsh gives it to Rudman, back to Walsh, who slices and dices his way through the neutral zone. Backhand chipped off the boards. Took a funky bounce. Not where Walsh was expecting it to go. Luke Watson out that first line for Missouri. Can they get anything going? 55 seconds left in this period of play. Behind the net of Joey Christfel's Andrew Knapp. Will Peterson center ice pass, rather, that's intercepted. That was a shot. It would have been a nice pass, but there was nobody near on the entire right side of the ice for Oklahoma State to get it. Cahill now to Roach. Roach pulls up, fires this one down. 20 seconds left in the period. Owen Walsh. Backhanded on in, and it looks like Missouri will do one more line change here just to ensure that everything ends orderly. And with 1 second, 0 seconds, this will end the first period of play. 3-0 for Missouri. Mason, take us through your thoughts on that first period.
Yeah, the Tigers came out flying, and so did the Cowboys. The Cowboys bombarding Joey Christofel in his crease for the first 5 minutes straight. Those Null and Norwegian additions for the orange and black. Looking strong, it was bedlam, but the Tigers fought back, clawed their way back, in fact. And in pink, they've got 3 here at Washington Park Ice Arena, and it was an impressive performance from both sides.
We're going to have an interview real quick. Ray Dickerson III is going to interview Coach Locke Thompson, so stick around for that. And then after that interview, we will send it into the intermission report and be back in about 15 minutes. Just give it a second. Check that. I think we're going to have this interview at the start of the second period or end of first intermission, so in about 10 minutes. So just use this time to go, I don't know, make yourself a sandwich, go get some water, go hang out, and we'll be back with you in about 10 to 12 minutes. Thank you very much. Welcome back to Washington Park Ice Arena. I am Owen Backer. Joined alongside me right now is Ray Dickerson III before this second period of action gets started. Ray had a discussion with Locke Thompson, the coach of the Missouri Tigers. What did he have to say, Ray?
The coach really wants to keep the pressure up against this skilled OSU team. They put a lot of pressure on in that first period. Obviously, we've got a 3-goal lead going into the second here. He was also really impressed by freshman Blake Houston, potting 2 in the first period, but he has said it's been a hands-on effort. Everybody's pitching in. He's loved to see the group effort. One thing he's upset with so far, not upset, but wants to see a change here in the second period, is keeping pucks out of the middle of the defensive zone and helping out Christoffel, keeping those pucks away from him and keep pucks to the perimeter and take a little workload off of Christoffel here in this after this first.
Thank you, Ray. Definitely don't disagree with anything Locke Thompson said there. And yeah, I think the big takeaway for me is Blake Houston. A bit of a breakout game for him, 2 goals for the young, potentially budding star. And then what he said about the defensive zone, I do agree. I mean, you've got a great goalie, but you need to make it easier for him.
Yeah, Christoffel standing on his head in the crease there that first period. Obviously not something you want to see. He's an elite goaltender, but you don't want to make him an elite goaltender.
Right. You don't want to make him have to use his skill. Ideally,
exactly.
It's an easy job for him every day. As immediately there was a small chance that was kicked away with ease. And of course, this is the period of the long change, so we've switched sides. I think that might spur some more offense for either side. Teams might get caught in a line change. It's the first line for Missouri starting out. They were a little slow last period, at least in terms of productivity. All 3 goals coming from the middle 6. That first line had some good chances, but wasn't able to actually put anything in. Something we're not accustomed to seeing with this team.
That top line of Knapp and Hemmer really struggling in that first period. Watson as well. Largely as a result of the OSU defense, they looked pretty steadfast in that first.
Yeah, definitely. The defensive structure has been pretty good with those guys out on the ice. It just seems to deteriorate when anyone else comes on, and there was a near 1-on-3 there. He tried to skate it in himself, and obviously 1-on-3 against 3 defenders doesn't work too terribly well, so Missouri will have the puck. Number 19 is Carapella, wearing the number of what was Bryce Uglo at the start of the season. He's out with an upper body injury. This one's frozen by Christoffel.
Yeah, Uglo, the freshman, had looked so strong in his first couple of outings with the Tigers, particularly in the Arkansas game that I had the privilege of calling. He was one of the difference makers for the Tigers alongside Mason Buddy. And they're still making do without it. Number 2, Nick Zitzman, picking up extra minutes, and he's looked strong so far.
Face-off win, a quick shot and a save by Christoffel. And yeah, depth is the word of the day, because this is a team that it's not exactly like they're ravaged by injuries. You know, they don't have multiple lines missing, but that's all the guys you just mentioned are key guys, key contributors that have been producing recently. And especially with the D3 team now, with guys getting call-ups, Kyle Setnar for this game, people want to be able to fill those spots and be able to prove that they deserve a spot in the lineup. And so this, why you don't wish injury, is a big opportunity for a lot of guys like Blake Houston to show why they belong on the team. As Carapella turns that puck over, working his way in. Now it's Peterson defending a 2-on-1 by himself. Shot, and he scores. A 2-on-1. Owen Walsh at pinch left Peterson to defend it. He played the pass, but it gets across, backdoor, chipped in, and OSU has a goal. 3-1 now for Missouri.
Number 71, Caden Nelson, the captain for the Cowboys, making his presence known. Number 91, Carafile, the Michigan State transfer for the Cowboys, gets the apple on that one, and it's a beautiful breakout play from the neutral zone. 3-1 Tigers lead.
And that's what you feel like OSU needed in this game, to be honest, because they had played decently, but there was just nothing on the scoreboard, and now they have proved to themselves that they can beat Joey Christoffel if they need to, and there's a lot of time left in this game, so certainly not over by any means, but really felt like they needed that, and now they want another 2-on-2 entering the zone. It's Caden Green. returning. That pass intercepted. Another chance finds its way into the chest of Christopher and a save. And that Oklahoma State bench is riled up. They are feeling the energy as both teams will go for line changes now. And there's number 20, Kyle Setnar, there on the ice. He hasn't played too terribly much today. He's listed as the 13th forward. He's that call up from D3, but this guy who really showed his skills last year, and I want everyone to keep an eye on there, number 20, who normally wears number 18 for the D3 unit. He's certainly a player to watch.
And a correction for you folks, the Green brothers are Zion and Cannon Green, not Alex.
Puck intercepted center ice by Brennan Shin and sent right back where it came from, now behind the Oklahoma State net. Men's chasing. Men's playing on that fourth line. He's a skill guy who had the best goal I've ever seen in Washington Park Ice Arena here on Saturday, a sick between the legs goal. Shows how much skill exists up and down the Missouri lineup. Roach with it. A beautiful passing series, but kicked away by Christoffel. Coming in now are the Cowboys. Tries to spin his way out of contact, and he does, but now Missouri is going to come away with it. He's got Bramstead trailing a shot. That one's wide. Correction, Setnar.
Tigers are going to go back on the power play tonight. 1 for 1 so far. Gumby's Pizza in downtown Columbia on Broadway. Certainly happy to hear their name spoken once again. Blake Houston, number 21, the freshman, is going to get another look on that second power play unit. We'll see how this top power play unit, which has struggled against the OSU defense, we'll see if they can get something going for the Tigers now.
Yeah, it was only about a minute they were on the ice last power play, but they really didn't do too terribly much before that second unit with Blake Houston scored. So want to see this power play unit number 1 get to work. We've got a tie-up immediately. Neither team able to come away with the puck. Finally pressed does. Looks like he's skating circles around in a phone booth. Finally gets this one out. One time from the slot was Rudman, and that one went wide. That was a great chance from Danny Rudman. And oh boy, what a sick goal that would have been.
Yeah, the Tigers have loved setting that slot play up. Coach Locke had Vodnansky in that slot in that Arkansas game, and he was able to generate some much-needed offense from there.
Into that, Vodnansky out and sliding right into that slot on both first line and the power play was Rudman. So with 120, you go.
I apologize. He's sitting right in that. He's sitting right in that slot that Vodnansky had sat in, and he's taking good advantage of that tonight, generating as much offense as any other of his line mates. And they'll send out the second power play unit now.
There's Blake Houston already on hat-trick watch. Still early in this second period as he goes to the corner and wins that puck battle briefly, but now Oklahoma State is going to come away with it. 2-on-2, short-handed. Shot blocked by Zitzman. Hemmer, some pushing and shoving in the corner, and the puck comes out for Missouri. 1 minute left on this power play. Of course, brought to you by Gumby's. Zitzman coming in on the right side with Fred Bramstead. Now it's going to come back to Hemmer at the blue line, and Missouri will set up. Pass this one to Zitzman. Zitzman over now to DeGroat. DeGroat tried to pass that one on, but it was blocked. Zitzman with it. Puts this one down low for Fred Bramstead. Bramstead tries to put this one in. Loose in front. Houston had a chance at it. Batted out of the air by DeGroat. Missouri still with it. Ethan DeGroat trying to line up a shot. Gets this one to Hemmer down low. Hemmer shoots this one in wide. 20 seconds on this power play. Still in the Oklahoma State zone. Nearly cleared, but Missouri's going to come away with it. Here's a chance from the dot. Bramstead shooting this one. Save made it. He scores! The second chance opportunity. And it's a second power play goal for Missouri. Only 11 seconds left.
It's the hat trick for Blake Houston.
Blake Houston, his third goal of the game. And there's still 14 minutes left in the second period. I do not have a hat to throw, and there's netting that would block it if I could throw anything, but yeah, we got a few. We had one hat. Oh my goodness, what a breakout game for Blake Houston.
Number 21, Blake Houston, absolutely putting his name on the map. He's been given the chance, the upgraded to the second power play unit with Heffington and Vodnansky out for the Tigers, and he's taken every opportunity that he's been given, and he's proven why he deserves a shot.
It was a good shot from Fred Bramstead. There's another blast. That one's gloved. It was a good shot from Fred Bramstead. Couldn't get as much on it as he wanted to. Save made, and then the second chance opportunity for Houston, and he puts that one in top cheese. This game right now is 1-1 Missouri versus Oklahoma State, and 3-0 Blake Houston versus everybody else, if you would look at it that way.
Yeah, the Tigers converting on that power play means they're 2 for 2 tonight in the Gumby's power play. They've looked so strong in this new special team system under Coach Locke Thompson that you have to wonder if that special teams difference is going to be what allows the Tigers to be dominant in the MACHA this year.
Quick shot glove by Chris Fall. Yeah, you would say, like, oh, give Blake Houston a promotion, put him on the power play 1, put him on the first line. But honestly, don't touch the lineup right now. Don't do anything. Just keep him where he's at and let him keep cooking.
It's almost like a Nathan Walker situation at the NHL level, where you've got
course.
someone who's taking every opportunity that they've got and converting on it. But
I will let Blake Houston after the game know that he is a 5'9" Australian man, like my king Nathan Walker. As that puck bounces off the board, slides harmlessly into the glove of Christoffel and throws it.
to finish that thought, though, Houston obviously earning his keep, but with so much talent in this lineup that we're finding out the Tigers have, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly, and it's like, well, obviously you don't want any injuries, but if Heffington was in the lineup, if Vodnansky was in the lineup, that pushes everyone down. Would Houston have a hat trick right now? Probably not. I don't think he would be on that power play 2 unit, because Vodnansky would be on the 1 and Rudman would be moved down to his spot. So an incredible job by him to get an opportunity and seize it. Of course, if the Tigers don't win the game, people may not remember the hat trick. There's still a lot of time left. Oklahoma State, after making it 3-1, had a decent chunk of momentum. That penalty really killed it, but now they've got a chance. They're going 6-on-5. We've got a delayed call. Oklahoma State with a chance to get this one back. Nearly touched by Missouri, but they're unable to. Working inside shot, that one high. Oklahoma State still with the puck. And finally, it is touched by a Tiger. And so for the first time in this game, over nearly halfway through, it's going to be a Missouri Tigers Harpo's penalty kill. And it looks like that is that Owen Walsh going to the box, the defenseman, part of that 6-7 pair. So a chance for Oklahoma State to get that one back.
Yeah, Walsh, the sophomore from St. Charles, Illinois, is going to be the first to break what was a great streak for the Tigers of disciplined play. Not sure what the penalty called was there. We'll hear about it in just a moment from our PA announcer, Robert Craybill. But obviously the Tigers doing a good job on special teams to look to continue that trend.
Absolutely. And Walsh stepping up in the lineup. He takes the penalty. He also had the blown coverage on the first Oklahoma State goal. There's a one-timer from the left dot. Left. Now here's Roach as he's pressed by DeGroat and Weber. Good clear by the Tigers penalty kill. And a brief break. Here's Andrew Knapp coming in, and a good poke check right there. Andrew Knapp tried to send that one back to his blue line, but he turns it over. An uncharacteristic turnover for Andrew Knapp, and now 3-on-2 for Oklahoma State. A shot and a score! Oklahoma State off the turnover. That's going to be an unassisted goal. Pop the water bottle, and it's 4-2. You hate to see that from Andrew Knapp. He had a great lay, nearly scored, and then a brutal turnover.
Yeah, number 71, Caden Nelson, the captain for the Cowboys, back at it again. He gets his team on the board for the second time. A good responsive goal for the orange and black. And it's just a brutal sequence of events. What could have been a goal for the Tigers. The netminder, number 5, Carney, with a beautiful poke check. Andrew Knapp turns it over. And just like that, the Tigers down to a 2-goal lead.
It's a bit of a captain-to-captain pass there. Just the wrong team. And, you know, when you're killing a penalty, I mean, this is a team that can be deadly shorthanded, but you've got to stay cognizant that your number one priority is just to keep a guy, keep the puck in deep, and immediately after that power play goal, a penalty taken by Oklahoma State, a fairly egregious hook.
Yeah, Ansel looking like he was going for a double leg takedown there on number 9, Aaron Hemmer, but he couldn't quite execute it without the watchful eye of Stripes over there in the far corner. So that'll be the third Gumby's power play of the night for the Tigers.
This power play 2 for 2, and it looks like they are going to start with that second unit who scored both goals. I like that decision. Aaron Hemmer took a tumble at the blue line, resulting in a turnover. Now Zitzman's got to get back, working in one-on-one, a shot high. Good shot selection there, but it just went a little above the bar and out of play.
And guess who it is again racing down the ice with that puck? It's 71, Caden Nelson for the Cowboys. He's been really the biggest spark for them on offense so far on both sides of the special teams. He's gotten on his horse and gotten into the zone. He's got a wicked wrist shot, both times beating the keeper just below the blocker.
Face-off won by Missouri. Now working in slowly through the neutral zone is Zitzman. Passes this one off to Fred Bramstead. Bramstead sends it down low to DeGroat. DeGroat to Blake Houston, who's got the hat trick. Can he get a full shot? He fanned on that. And so it results in Oklahoma State rushing into the zone 2-on-2. Working his way outside, tried to pass that to the slot. Couldn't get it, and now Missouri is going to try to enter with speed. Fred Bramstead couldn't corral, and that one's launched right back from where it came from, and the PK will get a change, as well will the power play unit. So that number 1 power play unit for Missouri is going to get back on the ice. 1 minute now has elapsed. Missouri unable to get set up thus far. Bit of just bad luck when they won the faceoff and Aaron Hemmer took a tumble at the blue line, resulting in a turnover. 45 seconds now on this penalty kill for Oklahoma State. Missouri like to get their 3-goal lead back. They had 2 thus far, 3-0 and a 4-1. Oklahoma State notching 1 each time to cut that lead down to 2. 25 seconds now. Andrew Knapp comes in, immediately pressed against the boards, and he's battling for it. That puck chipped high, but not out of play. I thought it nearly grazed the net. Still, they're going to battle along the boards with it. 9 seconds on this power play, and it's cleared once more. And so a fairly pitiful power play from Missouri, or just honestly a very good PK from Oklahoma State, as we are back to 5-on-5 play. Still 2 for 3 on the power play. You'll absolutely take that every day and Sunday. As this one shoveled towards the net. Puck's loose. It's in! Danny Rudman! The goaltender lost the puck after playing it, and Rudman was able to put it in. I think everybody in this arena knew where the puck was except for the goaltender.
Just a tragic break for number 5, William Carney, the goaltender for OSU, and he's going to get the yank for that one. So sad to see that after he's had a pretty solid night in the net. He's been hung out to dry a couple times, but that lack of awareness there is going to cost OSU what was a perfect penalty kill for those 2 minutes.
Textbook perfect penalty kill. Missouri's not able to set up, and then, yeah, like you said, Carney just, it was a unique experience. Every fan saw the puck loose between his legs. All the Oklahoma State players saw it, and the Missouri players saw it, but he didn't, and Rudman's able to find it. That's his 3rd goal in his last 2 games for Danny Rudman. He's stepping up in the lineup, taking the place of Vanansky, so great job from him, showing that he's worth that lineup position. Of course, if you watch him do help for years, that's never in doubt. And that 3-goal lead has been restored as a save made by Christopher. Or you think we're going to see a little desperation from Oklahoma State here to respond?
You know, based on the leadership that I've seen so far from their captain, Nelson, I would expect that not to be the case. I would expect a little more discipline from them. At least I would hope. So far, they've looked like a team that is very mature beyond their freshman years. Obviously, a lot of hockey experience overall across the board. But all that being said, when your goaltender gets pulled with nearly half the game left, it can kind of rock your mentality. So there may be a little bit of that desperation play.
There's a shot and a save made right off the draw.
And guess by
captain again. And with how Andrew Knapp has been so good, Nelson, the captain for Oklahoma State, you expect to kind of try to outdo that. And then Andrew Knapp had that bad turnover to Nelson. And here's another shot from Nelson. And yeah, you want to wear the C, you got to play like it. And he certainly is. And I got to tell you, we don't see too many goaltenders pulled here in ACHA as Luke Watson works in, just because you know you have to play tomorrow. It was a tough shot. I think Missouri's going to try to put as many on net as possible to test the new goaltender. They weren't able to get a shot on goal during that little rush. Puck comes out, and now Rudman, who just scored the goal, flips that one past the stick of Luke Watson. Now Jones with it. Jones turns it over to Knapp. Knapp coming on. Good job getting it to his defensive partner. Oh, but he dangles himself out. That was Walsh. And now a little bit of back and forth play as Fred Bramstead gets this one to Rudman. Tigers having a bit of trouble getting it out of their O zone. Bramstead coming in now, pressing Cahill. Cahill, number 21, fighting with Blake Houston, number 21. Worked his way inside, sticked away by Christoffel. Brennan Chin sends this one high. Moser, the Norwegian, plays this one over from Cahill.
A little bit of information for you on the new goaltender for the Cowboys, number 31, junior Max Levis. Started the majority of the Cowboys games last year, bumped by the former netminder for the Cowboys.
And there's his first real test of a save made off an Ethan DeGroat chance, not overly threatening, but good composure to make that save. And yeah, we don't see too many goaltenders pulled here just because we usually do 2-game weekend series and you know you got to play tomorrow. Tomorrow's game starts at 9:30 a.m., which means it's only going to be 14 hours later. So I'm very curious to see if that decision to pull the goalie, what that results in for tomorrow's contest, because now you're presumably going to have 2 semi-tired goalies. I assume the plan was to have Levis start tomorrow's game, but that's all things we can wonder about an intermission or after the game. Right now, Oklahoma State's trying to claw back from a 3-goal deficit. Be hard to believe that they could beat Joey Christoffel 3 more times in this game, but crazier things have happened. Neither goal particularly Christoffel's fault. If they can work their way around the defense and maybe get a few power plays, they could certainly make this more interesting. There's Green. He turns it over. Nate Austin had it and lost it. Aaron Hemmer, the newly minted defenseman. Here's a chance, and they score! That pass came out of nowhere. A board battle with Aaron Hemmer, and he was wide open in the dot. And just like that, it is back to a 2-goal lead for Missouri.
Now, I would be surprised if Coach Locke Thompson has anything good to say about that last sequence there. Zion Green, number 14 for the Cowboys, wide open on the left-hand face-off dot, sitting nearly 6 feet away from the goaltender, and it's just not something that you can allow to happen if you're the Tigers with that 3-goal lead.
He was on an island. I mean, he could have settled that puck, taken it out to dinner, done whatever, and then shot it and still scored. Heroic effort from Christoffel trying to make the save there, but I mean, 3 goals scored for Oklahoma State, and none of them are even a little bit Joey Christoffel's fault. We've got a whistle.
Now here come the fireworks we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Number 15, Corbin Roach, seems to have taken exception to some of the Tiger play. And I suppose the boys in pink and gold have done the exact same thing. But it looks like it'll be just the OSU man who goes to the box.
Yeah. 2 for 3 is Missouri on the power play. Brought to you by Gumby's Pizza. The last power play they had did not look very good at all, but of course Aaron Hemmer, or rather Danny Rudman, was able to score a goal immediately after the power play expired. So we'll see what this unit can do. It's going to be the first unit back on the ice. So you've got Prest centering. You've got Andrew Knapp and Aaron Hemmer at defense. Carapella to the right of Prest and Rudman to the left. Face off one cleanly back to Andrew Knapp. Knapp sends it over to Hemmer. Back to Knapp at the point. Down low. Tries to put this one in, and they do! It's another power play goal for the Tigers! They wasted no time.
It's the freshman, Brennan Prest, number 18. He finds one. The Tigers now 3 for 4 on the Gumby's power play, and it's another 3-goal lead. They wasted absolutely no time. They've done their system, worked it down low, worked it across. And the junior goal minder, older than the previous one, still doesn't have an answer for the Tigers in their power play.
Yeah, you think the goaltending change might have spurred something different from OSU, because they switch goaltenders, then immediately they score a goal, and you think, okay, maybe this new guy will change things up, but a goal given up there. Not that it's the goaltender's fault, but there's not much Levis could do there, but it's still deflating to see if you are rooting for the team in orange and black. OSU looking for a quick response. Fire this one high. Watson getting an assist on that goal, and it's nice to see those top guys getting on the score sheet. Knapp also with his first point of the game. He had a monster weekend last weekend against Iowa.
Yeah, that top line that had been stifled so far by that top line pairing of Douay and Rusgaard get a little bit more action on that power play, which is good to see. And Kirkwood native Luke Watson.
There's a 2-on-1, work his way in, shot from Weber, rebound, shot, it doesn't go. He ran out of real estate. A juicy rebound given up by Levis nearly resulted in a goal. Puck still in the O-zone for Missouri. Carapella working with it, along with Ethan DeGroat. Finally cleared out by OSU, but they're not going to be able to change as it is an icing call, and so they'll have to keep that tired group out. We'll see who Missouri deploys.
Number 7, Rice Sackersfold, looking to do a sneaky change in front of the referee there. Thought he caught him not looking, but they'll send them back out.
That's funny, I missed that.
He was really trying to get away with it. I was impressed. He seemed very confident that he was going to be okay.
Love that. It's going to be Bramstead, Setnar, and Menz out as the forwards. Here's a blue line shot, can't find its way through traffic. That by Aaron Hemmer, who's paired with Zitzman. And finally, OSU's able to go get a change after that icing. A good play by them to get that puck out. Still the same unit for Missouri. Oklahoma State a shot, rebound, a secondary save made by Christoffel. And a good chance for the Cowboys to try and once again claw back to only a 2-goal deficit. Missouri's had 3 3-goal leads that have all vanished. It was 3-0, and since then, it's 3 apiece. 3 for Oklahoma State and 3 for Missouri. Each scored one after the other, one per team. Green puts this one east to west, or west to east rather. Here's a high shot that went off a stick and into the netting. 4:26 left, and yeah, 3-0 after the first period, and this second period is 3-3, and it seems like it's a much more even game. What do you think Missouri has to do to finish this period off and then try to actually win the third period?
Yeah, the Tigers looking relatively strong so far. Obviously, we expected the OSU onslaught to continue. They've tired off a little bit, but they've still got a couple of strong skaters, namely the people we pointed out to you in the pregame, the Green brothers and the captain, Caden Nelson. Keep an eye on them. The Tigers really need to do a better job of keeping them out of the center ice and making sure that that left wing is covered. They've scored all of their goals so far from that point.
Here's Nelson working his way in. Cross ice. Here's a shot and a big save by Joey Christfell. Once again, Nelson working his way in on that left side, able to pass it across the crease. And no, they... So I think that one was in, but there is some debate. We're trying to figure out what's happening here.
What I'm seeing right now is that this has been called a goal by the officials on ice. And I'm not sure many people in the stands realize that Christopher hit almost a Statue of Liberty pose.
Yeah.
Like he had saved it.
I thought he had gloved it. And there wasn't much, I think, and there was some Missouri gathering around the net as if they thought maybe it was not in. But here is yet the fourth 3-goal lead that has turned into a 2-goal lead. It has been one after another. So if this game's pattern is to be believed, the next goal will be for Missouri.
And that score line, once again, is green from Nelson.
That's the third or fourth point of the night for Nelson. And here's a shot. Couldn't get through traffic. Carson Weber, the defenseman who's pursuing. We've got an Oklahoma State player down, slow to get up. That was Matthews. He seems to be all right, but he got a little shaken up there. Moger gets it off and to Roach, but he carries it offside.
Keen-eyed fans in the crowd recognizing that one. It's been the first true offside call of the night. Relatively disciplined blue line play from both teams. It's been a pretty clean game in terms of stoppages. Only a couple of icings and the rest from naturally dead plays, gloved pucks and whatnot.
Yeah, it's a brisk contest so far.
Refreshing to see. And
it is.
I remember my first game calling with Owen was a D3 ACHA contest against the Blue Billikens, and it was less clean.
I think the Tigers organization has kind of gotten away from that, of the just every other game was a penalty fest. Here's a chance for Oklahoma State. They try to work in near wraparound. Got to get this one to Cahill, who was down low, but he wasn't able to. Now it is with Cahill, who's going to slap shot that one. A lot of traffic in front. Not able to get to the net. Here's another turn shot. Doesn't go. If Christopher can see it, he's probably going to save it. So they're doing a good job trying to get bodies in front. Oklahoma State's got some big guys. Some decent contact there.
Tigers getting tired now.
Yeah, you can tell they need a change here. Working his way in. Oh, almost a great play from DeCroix to get it to Bramstead, but that pass was not quick enough, and it was intercepted by OSU. Both teams have gotten a change as we enter 2 minutes remaining in the period. It's that 6 and 7 defensive pairing. As well with Setnar, who's getting more ice time now. He's listed as the 13th forward for this game. He's been playing a lot more in this second period. Menz throws that one down to Setnar. Setnar battling along the corner. You talk to coaches, you talk to players, they just say Kyle Setnar has this incredible attitude that you love to see. Consummate professional, and so you love to see him get the call up. He's been the first guy up a few times this year. This is wearing number 20, not his usual 18, which is taken by Brendan Crest. Menz with it, and yeah, a turnover in front is a spill was taken by an Oklahoma State defenseman, but no harm, no fouls. It's easily picked up and collected. Now OSU trying to work into the Tigers zone. Pass to the slot. Doesn't go anywhere. Missouri with it now. Taken back by the Cowboys. 1 minute remaining in this second period of play. It's 6-4 for Missouri. Luke Watson going to work. We've got ourselves a whistle.
Tigers looking tired so far in the end of this second. They really have not had much of a response for the orange and gold combo of Nelson Green. Couple of chances there late in the second for the Cowboys. It was nearly a 5-minute nonstop bombardment of Christoffel. Deflections in front of the net, slap shots in front of the net, Audie's tumbling. Looked almost like a game of bowling, but the Tigers hold on to their 2-goal lead. Unable to really test Levis so far in the end of this second half of the second period, but a bright star in this little bit of darkness for the Tigers, not to take away from him, but Carapella has really stepped in on this second line.
I agree with that. And yeah, the Tigers look tired. They need this period to end. They've been outscored 4-3 in this second period of play. Most of that coming in the second half of the second period. This final 10 minutes, and this puck is fired down, and no icing. It's on the net of Levis. Good hit in the corner. 15 seconds left in this period of play now. No icing once more. Brendan Chin behind. Bounces that one off the boards deep into the neutral zone. O'Connell with it. There's 2 seconds, 1 second. A high shot to end the period from center ice by Nelson, and that will do it for the second period of play. 6-4 is the score for the Tigers. A wild period, to say the least. A couple power play markers for Missouri. A few fireworks, to say the least. A goaltending change for Oklahoma State, and we're in for an interesting third period, if I don't say so myself.
Yeah, the Tigers came out and looked strong, right? That, obviously maintaining a 6-3 lead means that your firepower is doing well, but the defense has really shown its true colors with how tired they were getting at the end there. Christoffel has a couple of rough shots that he gets dealt, getting blown open on both the left and the right side in 2-on-1s. Not really much you can do in those situations as a goaltender to play the shot. And he gets hung out to dry. Green, Nelson look to be a lethal trio, and the Tigers need a response in this third period. If this final score is 6-4, I wouldn't be upset, but they need to respond defensively.
I completely agree. The defense needs to be more structured, and that's what they've done really well this year. They've had sticks in lanes, they've had bodies where they should be, traffic where they need it to be, and especially against a team like Iowa. And so it is surprising to see, for lack of a better term, lack of structure take hold here. But with that, that'll do it for the second period of play. I'm Owen Backer, joined alongside me, Mason Heller on PA, Robert Preble, sideline reporting for us, Ray Dickerson, and of course producing our own Ian Paparocki. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will be back in about 10 minutes. See you soon. Welcome back to the third period of action here at Washington Park Ice Arena. I'm Owen Backer, joined alongside me Mason Heller, producing for us our lovely Ian Paparocki, Ray Dickerson III sideline reporting, and Robert Preble on PA. It's 6-4 here. Missouri had a great first period, won that period 3-0, but things that were a little more tumultuous as they got outscored 4-3 in the second, looking for a cleaner third to put this one away and take first game of the series. Mason, what are your thoughts going into this period?
Yeah, we keep talking about it. We're going to call it what it was. That was bedlam in the second for the Tigers. They're a rough defensive showing for them. Offense still firing on all cylinders, which you love to see. The sophomore Carney getting pulled halfway through that second period after he misplayed a puck and the Tigers regained their lead. But they need a response here, if not offensively, defensively.
And it's really a structure thing because every individual defenseman on this team has had really solid moments. I mean, right now it's Chin and Weber out as there's an immediate shot gloved by Christoffel, but Weber and Chin have both had really good moments. Zitzman has had some good moments. Walsh and Peterson on that 6-7 pair have had really good moments each individually. It's just everybody needs to start kind of playing as a more cohesive unit. And that's not just on the defensemen. It's the forwards too. Getting sticks in lanes and being able to play team defense. Andrew Knapp will go against Green, both number 14. We are waiting, and face-off draw taken, and Oklahoma State will come out with it as Green will whip this one around, but it goes right to the stick of Brennan Chin. Brennan Chin was able to spur this puck forward. It's that first line for Missouri starting once more. Line of Rudman, who has a goal, Knapp, who has an assist, and Watson. As Luke Watson from Kirkwood, Missouri, plays this one below the red line. Watson backshands this one to Brennan Chin.
Keep an eye out on number 91, Luke Watson. He's looked strong so far tonight, and he's been itching for a goal.
He has. He's been really solid this entire year. He's probably, I would say, the biggest breakout freshman for Missouri this season. Not this game, of course, as Blake Houston, the freshman, with 3 goals in the first period and a half of this game. Dawn's number 21, so keep an eye on him. Maybe he'll go for a 4th as Fred Bramstead enters the zone with Prest. But that opportunity couldn't materialize into anything. By Prest, that was Carapella, wearing number 19. Prest is, of course, number 18. Here's Zitzman working his way in. So that puck was taken out from under him, and now Oklahoma State works in 2-on-2. Here's a shot, but a good stick, and high up into the netting. We've got a whistle.
Yeah, and it's that line of Nelson Green. Once again, back at it, rather. Nelson Green and Carafile, number 91, the freshman from Michigan State. Coming out, firing. They're very tricky with the puck, very creative, able to work it in down low behind the red line. And it's been a challenge so far for these Tigers to address.
Absolutely. Very interesting coaching duel, I think, might happen here as a face-off one, an immediate shot. They have liked that quick shot right off the face-off, but haven't been able to beat Christoffel on that play as they're jamming away out of the puck. Is loose, a shot. Christoffel was on his stomach, and that shot went wide or high. Either way, it doesn't go in the net. In a fortuitous break for Missouri, as that potentially could have been a goal to bring Oklahoma State within 1. The first time they've been within 1 since early in the first period. Kyle Setnar along with Menz go to work. There's a shot from the blue line. That one couldn't find its way to the net. Taken now by Will Peterson. Peterson gets this one to Menz. Matty Menz slings this one down. No change. That same 4th line is going to be out for Missouri. And this is what you want to see from your 4th line. I mean, they're not getting too many opportunities, but they are hemming in Oklahoma State in their zone. And finally, they'll go for a change. And so,
well-executed change by the Tigers there. They needed a clean one.
It's that 3rd line out for Missouri now with the usual center, Nate Austin, kicked over to the wing. Centered by Prest, and Blake Houston, the hat-trick scorer. Just because they're the third line doesn't mean that they don't have some supreme offensive ability. Crest also has a goal in this one. There's Blake Houston, a shot kicked away easy, and a rebound chance from Austin doesn't go. 16:40 left in this third period of play. Missouri trying to go to work.
This junior goaltender, Max Levis, coming in with 10 minutes to go in the second for the Cowboys. Hasn't really been tested so far. He's 3 saves on 4 shots for the orange and gold. And the man who scored on him, Houston, looking for his 4th goal of the night, trying to pellet him.
And we are going to kick it over to Ray Dickerson III, our sideline correspondent. He's with Coach Locke Thompson.
Coach, what have you seen after the second period, that second period that you didn't, what you did or didn't like?
Well, you know, obviously we knew that this is a highly skilled team, especially on 6, and that they were going to be difficult to shut down for an entire game. So we did see them get a couple, but I thought the guys responded well, and toward the end of the period, we started to lock it up a little bit better on defense.
What would you like to see them do here with 16 minutes left in this third period?
I'd like to see us get back to what we were doing a little bit better in the first, getting bodies on, full check well, and, just locking it down.
A little bit of physicality there. Would you like to see that more out of your boys?
I would like to see us stay after the box.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Ray, for that. And you heard it here. Locke Thompson would like his boys stay out of the box, which they have done a remarkable job of so far in this game. They only had 1 penalty taken. They were able to kill that one off, and so
Just 1 penalty on the home stat line.
Yeah.
That's the first time I think we've seen that this late in the game. 15 minutes and 55 seconds left to play here. The Tigers doing a good job of following Locke Thompson's rules of play. That's a big open ice hit there.
And, you know, Locke Thompson kind of pointing out to everything that we've been discussing. I mean, it's the defensive structure, you know, and the demons that maybe came out in the second period didn't necessarily have to, don't have to rear their heads in this third period of play if Missouri can stay structured. And so far they haven't. 5 minutes into this period, or nearly 5 minutes into this period, things have been relatively structured as we've got a penalty called. It's going to be a slash.
And speak of the devil, just as we jinx him, it's always the commentator jinx.
That's number 9, Aaron Hemmer, who's been playing at defense. He's in the box, so.
Hemmer listed on the roster as a forward, however. He had started off this year as a very productive forward, 2 breakaway goals against Arkansas in their maiden matchup. He'll be in the sin bin for 2 minutes, though. It's a Hartbuzz penalty kill.
Green kicks this one over. There's a high shot. That one goes above the bar. Green, good job to keep the puck in. It goes to Roach. Roach chips this one down to Nelson. Back to Green. One-timer, and he scores! A beautiful passing sequence, a one-timer from the left dot, and now Oklahoma State is within 1.
And let's just note that scoreline once again. Nelson from Green. That top line for the Cowboys is the difference maker. They slayed the Giant in Division I Oklahoma on September 14th, the last time they played, and it absolutely has to be attributed to the captain, number 71, Caden Nelson, and the Green brothers, number 14 and number 44, Zion and Cannon. They've looked absolutely phenomenal for the Cowboys tonight.
4 points for Nelson in this game. His team's only got 5. Impressive. Actually, I'm looking at the score sheet. I'm not sure if he has 4 or 5. There's an inconclusive what they have written on the score sheet. I'm going to go with 5, though. And overall, I mean, yeah, that's leading by example, as they say. Number 71, the captain, putting up nearly as many points as his team has goals. You do that on a consistent basis, and you'll certainly have a reputation as your team's best player as that puck is iced with 14:30 left. First time Missouri has been only up by 1 since early in the first period. They had a 3-0 lead going into the second, and then the teams just traded goals back and forth, one after the other, ending the period 6-2.
So it's Owen Walsh is heading to the box. The 5'9", 155-pound D-man from St. Charles is on back-to-back Harpo's penalty kills. Now, you heard Coach Locke Thompson say it to our reporter there on the bench not even 5 minutes ago, stay out of the box. And it seems like those words spoken into existence were the exact opposite of what the Tigers needed to hear.
Green with it. See if they try to set up on that same play. There's Nelson. Shot. That one's wide. Missouri's penalty kill trying to wash that taste out of their mouth. There's Green at the blue line. He's skating in. Cross ice to the dot. Shot. Shot. And wow, that was a nice flashy glove save from Christopher. I'm trying to say slot shot. It's a little tongue twisting. But yeah, Thompson talking about staying out of the box was in a response to Ray's question about physicality as well. And these penalties haven't really been super, physical, or anything like that. They've been tacky, tripping, hooking, slashing, what have you. And that's just something you really don't want to see at this stage of the game, especially.
Yeah, it's more of a last year's identity kind of thing.
Absolutely. Oklahoma State working in now. This Harpo's penalty kill already more successful than this last one. Is Nate Austin steals the puck. Austin's going to work his way in short-handed, and a smart play by him to just chip that in. He didn't have the speed to get to the net, so he gets this puck in deep.
Yeah, Nathan Austin, the senior. That's a veteran play there. Not looking for the flashy goal.
Austin has been a peak penalty killer since his sophomore year, so that's a guy that has some experience in this role and certainly knows the smart play. And there's another one-timer from the same spot they scored that last goal, but that one didn't go. Cleared out, and a heroic effort from that first PK unit as they'll go for a change now. Menz is out there with Weber and Chin pressed the other forward. He's centering that line. Both defensemen behind the net. Menz turning in a good clear. 15 seconds left on this Harpo's penalty kill.
Keep an eye out for that left-hand face-off dot. The Cowboys have targeted for 4 out of their 5 goals.
Yeah, seriously, that has been their absolute favorite spot in this game. And with that puck sent down, we are back to 5-on-5 play. Walsh steps out of the box, goes to the bench, and we've got a whistle. And so after giving up a power play goal almost immediately, you go right back to the PK, and a nice composed effort from Missouri to not give up a goal there.
Yeah, defensive presence in both the crease and on the face-off dots for the Tigers, forcing both Nelson and Green to take their weapons a little wider than they would like to, and Christopher's able to snag up those kinds of shots.
Another face-off win for Oklahoma State. The puck shuffled instantaneously to the net, and a good cover by Christopher. So they'll do it over again. High up. Round back behind the net of Christopher. Chipped behind the net, and that is number 89, number 18 rather, Brennan Prest with it. Few guys get tangled up. No tripping call. It looks like they just kind of spilled over each other's bodies. That was Menz and Cahill. Menz with it, able to shed off an attacker. Menz in, tried to center that one, and an Oklahoma State Cowboy was able to get a stick on it. That puck lifted high into the netting. And so both sides will elect to go for a change and see who Missouri deploys. I'm interested. That first line has been on the ice in a minute. Obviously, back-to-back penalty kills will kind of jumble up who's refreshed and who isn't. It looks like that second line of Carapella and Bramstead, centered by DeGroat, is going to come out. Center ice face-off, and won by Ethan DeGroat. DeGroat working his way in. 11:40 in the third period. Missouri wants another one. They are not just going to sit back and hope to win this game 6-5. They need an insurance marker. Oklahoma State's been incredible at responding this game as Carafil comes in. Carafil passes this one off. Shot! Scores! Bar down! And this game is tied.
Yeah, that's lazy defense from the Tigers there. Flat-footed on the return to the zone. Ethan DeGroat working hard. Gets the puck in deep. He's trailed by Branstead and Carapella. They look to make something happen, and they're not able to. Not every offensive zone entry is going to be a goal-scoring opportunity. But Carafile, number 91, comes flying down the right-hand wing, and there's just no answer for him. He's got a clear slot pass across, and it's another goal for the Cowboys.
At this point, I was thinking that Coach Locke Thompson might take a timeout here, get his guys in order and together. I mean, it's been now 3 consecutive goals for Oklahoma State. Missouri really needs to get something going. They're going to put that first line out there, that second pairing, try to spur their team, but Oklahoma State have all the momentum right now as they'll go to work once more. A shot and a save made by Christoffel. And for a goalie that's given up 6 goals, I mean, Joey Christoffel, really, you can't put many of these on him. It's hard to imagine a game where it's lower scoring than this, regardless of goaltending play.
Yeah, that's got to be something that addressed in the locker room with his defense there. He's been given a couple of bad hands where he's, left with a yawning cage. He's shifting across his crease, and there's really not much you can do about that as a goaltender, even as one as Christoffel has been. He's made 3 of those saves coming across his crease, but the other 5, there's not much to be said.
So it's always, I theorized that Thompson might take a timeout. I like what he did there. He put the first line on the ice, saw if they could get to work. They couldn't, and so now he's going to take the timeout, refresh his guys, discuss some strategy, and then probably redeploy that first line for another shift. And I think it's a smart coaching move.
I would be surprised. This is one of those situations, obviously, if you watch NHL hockey, the last 2 years during the Stanley Cup Finals, it's been the Oilers versus the Panthers. And each time as the Oilers have trailed in the third period, they've left McDavid and Draisaitl on the ice for extended periods of time. I wonder if this is one of those games where you're going to see those first and second lines really get worked in these last 10 minutes of this third period, and you're not going to reach as deep into that bag as you normally would as a coach.
Maybe some line shuffling, too. I mean, Blake Houston's got 3 goals for you in this game, and he's sitting on your third line. So how do you deploy him? I mean, do you try to roll, maybe not 4, roll 3 lines, or do you really just stick with that top 6? Do you shuffle things up? Do you put Knapp and DeGroat on the ice together? All these things people will see, but remember, Mizzou isn't playing from down right now. It may feel like it because of the momentum, but this is a tied hockey game, so no reason to overly panic. Cowboys put this one to Nelson. Nelson centering pass. A dangerous chance there. A great pass from Nelson, but it just goes off a foot. That puck comes out right onto the skate of Roach. Roach turning. Fighting off a pressing Luke Watson. Got it to Green. Green now gets it. Backdoor opportunity and a wonderful chance for Oklahoma State. That puck just went wide. And they are passing circles around Missouri in the defensive zone right now. I mean, that's some of the most beautiful passing you'll see. Is that icing is waved off. Good hustle from Andrew Knapp, and then he finishes it with a check. Allows his guys to go for a change. It's that second line out. Carapella's with Bramstead. Knapp was forechecking, so he's still on the ice, and now he will get a change. DeGroat takes his place. Ethan DeGroat turns puck over. Roach with it, tries to skate between 3 Tigers defensemen. He's able to hold it for a little bit. A big collision in the corners. They got kind of tied up, and now they're going at it. Fists are flying. The gloves are off. It's Roach and Weber, and they are throwing haymakers. And we've got a full fight. And maybe that's what this Missouri team needed, as this crowd has had to watch their team surrender 3 consecutive goals erupts. We see a lot of scrums here in Washington Park, but rarely do we see full gloves off fist fights
Number 15, Roach there, has quickly earned himself a way out of the arena, absolutely ambushing the Tigers player there. I'm going to be honest, as a broadcaster, there's not much I can say about that there. That's not something you want to see in ACHA hockey. Both players likely going to be kicked out of the game. Carson Weber, number 27, will also go. He threw a couple back.
And that's a big loss for Oklahoma State, too. I mean, Roach has been very solid for them. I mean, the whole reason that started is he worked his way in to the O zone by himself and was able to keep that puck on his stick through 3 Tiger defenders before they got tangled up. And Weber is still, Roach was immediately skated to the boards by an official and thrown out. Weber is still on the ice. I'm wondering if he'll get a lesser
I imagine he's going to
infraction.
receive a 5-minute major for fighting,
Right.
but I would suspect with 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes left in that game, that Roach received a 10-minute major.
That would be my guess. I mean, no one started that per se. They both just got tangled up to each other and fell, and then it looks like Roach was the one who turned it into an actual altercation.
That would be my estimate on the situation. I think if you were to take the first 30 seconds of that, say that was a mutual combat sort of thing, but after they had both gone to the ground and the referees came in to break it up, as is standard with the hockey fight, there were some more fisticuffs coming from number 15 there. And we're going to detach that from the whole of the Oklahoma State team, who has been very disciplined so far this game, and it's been a pleasure to watch them play hockey. But just an unfortunate situation there, and we don't want to see that.
When you have 2 even teams that are going at it so evenly, I mean, it's kind of bound to happen, right? I mean, tensions are going to boil over. So no, we're looking at a replay here on our end. It looks like your guys' camera didn't catch it great and the start of it, but yeah, I mean, that was their gloves were off and they were throwing haymakers as they're still deliberating exactly what to do.
Yeah, watching this back, immediately escorted off the ice is number 15 there. Carson Weber, 27, potentially a little bit stunned. He's receiving some medical attention over there on the bench now. Just an unfortunate sequence of events, tangled up in a natural play, and then it gets escalated by both players there.
Medical attention, yeah. I mean, those were some big punches being thrown by each team. I hope Roach, he's in the locker room right now, is getting some kind of assistance. Obviously, nobody is too gravely injured, but from a hockey perspective, I mean, this is... Now, the momentum has swung a little bit in Missouri's favor. I mean, it was all Oklahoma State. Now let's kind of rouse the bench a little bit. That was probably the worst thing Roach could have done, is start that, because now you've given Missouri something to kind of put them in gear. And the clock in here is showing a 2-minute minor penalty on the board for Roach. So my guess is that each player was given a 5-minute major for fighting, and then Roach was given an additional 10-minute misconduct interference, because if he thought that was the one who took him down. So
that's possible. I'm not really at liberty to speculate at present. I think that was kind of a we'll wait and see. Oh, it seems like Mizzou is going to come out of this with the advantage.
Yes.
And they're going to need to convert on this power play.
Yeah, I mean, you get an extended timeout right here. You get a power play. You get Carson Weber will be up, but he's not on your power play unit. And Roach is a very good player who was on the PK for Oklahoma State. I mean, this is a big opportunity for Missouri, and this might be the game here with only 9:32 left in the period, or in potentially the contest.
It seems as though Weber's left the ice, from what I can see here in the arena. Though
And they've officially announced the power play. So, and right now the guys standing on the ice are Bramstead, Knapp, Rudman, Carapella, and DeGroat. So that is that first power play unit. Now, DeGroat's gotten off. They're changing a few things around.
The Kirkwoodian number 91, Luke Watson, looks like he's going to slot in now. It's golden black lights here at Washington Park Ice Arena. They're fired up. I hope you are at home. We appreciate you all tuning in to watch Mizzou hockey.
Now, well, as we're about to get started, I'll just take the time to, thank everybody for watching and tuning in. We certainly appreciate the support. We appreciate the comments, the feedback, the likes, or just the views. You all make it worth it, and so we appreciate bringing this product to you. Now, we've got an excellent game here, 6-6. You've just joined us recently. Missouri had a 3-0 lead after the first period. Then it was 6-4 entering the third. Oklahoma State scored 2 goals in the third period to tie it. Now Missouri has a power play. But this one brought to you by Gumby's. Face-off one. Andrew Knapp gets it to Watson. Watson in the left dot. He circles around. Sends this one back up to Knapp. Knapp, high shot. That one's wide. You know he has a laser. And Coach Locke Thompson was telling Andrew Knapp a few weeks ago that he wanted to see him shoot more. And he certainly has. He had 3 goals against Iowa last weekend, 1 on Friday and 2 on Saturday.
Penalties announced in the arena, face mask and fighting for both players, both disqualified from tonight's contest.
Yeah, during that whole deliberation, Weber did leave the penalty box and went to the locker room, so it makes sense. Even penalties there, except for the additional 2 minutes for Roach. So that's why Missouri is on a power play here. First unit still on the ice. They've got 1 goal. And a turnover by Knapp, and it's Nelson now. Nelson walking in. Here's a shot, and that one is above the arm of Joey Christoffel. Above the arm, above the bar, above everything. Trouble entering the zone right now. Great job by the defense of Oklahoma State. Second unit now on the ice. Ethan DeGroat skating in. Blake Houston, Fred Bramstead with him. Houston, of course, had the hat trick. Zitzman fakes a shot. DeGroat sends it down low. 30 seconds to go on this power play. They have time. Pass down low again below the red line. Back up to Zitzman at the blue line. He fumbles that one, and it's out of the zone. A brutal, tough break for Missouri. Just a bit of bad luck as that puck hopped over the stick of Zitzman, but they enter again. Bramstead a short shot. They're poking away at it. The puck is still loose, and it comes out. Levis unable to cover and freeze that one, and after that puck is sent down with 5 seconds on the penalty kill, looks like Oklahoma State has escaped, and we're back to 5-on-5 play. Missouri power play 3 for 5 in this game, so quite good, but just not when they really needed it right there. It's still an even game with 7:15 left in this third period.
We have the pleasure of sitting next to Fred Bramstead's family. They were really looking for him to get one there. He was crashing in the back door, and it was a great chance for the Tigers.
Shot from Aaron Hemmers wide. Just because the power play's over doesn't mean this unit isn't still going to go to work. Houston tried to fire that one up to Hemmer, but he couldn't. Puck goes all the way down the ice 200 feet, and Zitzman will go collect it. Nicholas Zitzman, a nifty move there to get around a defenseman, puts this puck in deep. Near turnover in the slot. Fortuitous play for Oklahoma State that didn't result in anything negative. Owen Walsh, the young, nifty defenseman, will retrieve that one. He gets it over to his deep partner. Peterson puts this one up. And it's that fourth line going at it who has been really good this game. They haven't produced any goals, but they have done a good job of hemming Oklahoma State in their zone. Pushed over by Will Peterson. A bad turnover in the slot. There's a shot and a save made by Christoffel. A bad turnover, but not actually the best chance in the world. That shot was far away. I don't think he realized how much space he had.
Yeah, Will Peterson there corralling the puck well behind the net, but his pass takes a bad bounce as it's trying to leave the zone, and it's intercepted by OSU. They've done a very good job of making the Tigers pay for the defensive mistakes. Fortunately, Christoffel gets a glove on that one.
Fortunately, indeed. Also, if you've just joined us recently, Joey Christoffel, the goaltender for Missouri, has been excellent in this contest despite giving up 6 goals. None of them have really been his fault. Now, Oklahoma State had a goaltending change after the 5th goal. Here's a chance in the slot, working his way in, a shot, save, rebound, the puck is still loose, turn, another shot. Fouled out is Christoffel. They're just throwing everything on net, and finally, they're able to get it out. Harrowing stuff from Joey Christoffel. As I was saying, Oklahoma State had to have a goaltending change after the 5th goal, and now Levis is in net. So, 2 different goaltending tails, despite the fact the score is the same. Nice hit from Rudman in the corner. Goes to finish his check. Knapp tried to get it to Watson, but he couldn't connect on that pass. And it feels like with the way this game's going, the next goal, if momentum stays the same, is going to be for Oklahoma State. Missouri needs to figure out something here. There's a shot blockered away by Joey Christoffel.
And here comes this top line for Oklahoma State. Green, and Nelson.
How good they've been. Feels like you're not going to score on this line. You just need to kind of avoid and hem them into their own zone, forecheck, and then try to score on one of the other 3 lines. That's how this game has been for Missouri, honestly. 4 minutes and 20 seconds now. Nice solid contact in the corner, but the puck remains on the stick of Oklahoma Cowboys. Green puts it deep. Now Cahill's going for a change. He was exhausted, so it's a brief 4-on-5 as he had escaped far for that. Four minutes now, and Missouri's defense will go for a change as quickly as that top line for Oklahoma State. So a good job resisting that onslaught by Missouri, but Green is still on the ice. Just his line mates that have left. There's a one-time chance fanned on, and now it's a break for Missouri. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Fred Bramstead, puck is able to get it to the slot, and a huge shove on Nate Austin in the slot. He couldn't stay upright, and that could have been a great chance for Missouri, but nothing materialized out of it. 3 minutes, 25 seconds. This game is heating up. Who is going to win? I do not know. Missouri holding it in the O-zone. Tough angle shot from Houston and glove. He was looking for his 4th.
Number 16, Max O'Connell, the freshman, with a beautiful heads-up play. It was Austin in the slot there. He had a perfect heads-up opportunity to score a puck on his stick, and he gets blown up. And that's the kind of play that's going to save this game for the OSU Cowboys. The Tigers trying to swing back here late in the 3rd. 3:17 to play.
Carafile got that one in deep nicely, but Knapp's going to come out with it. It's that top line for Missouri being deployed once more. Not going against the top line for Oklahoma State, at least originally, but they threw those guys right back out there. They are deploying that top 6 pretty relentlessly. It's Green, and Nelson. Of course, against Knapp, Rudman, and Watson. A slot pass, nowhere. Moser comes in, centering pass to the slot. That one was hit away by a stick, and Oklahoma State is just shoveling pucks to the slot every chance they get. Brennan Chin is able to get this puck out, and that first line for Missouri is going to go for a change, all except Andrew Knapp. Shot in a quick flick of the glove by Joey Christoffel to hold that. And yeah, I mean, when the first line for Oklahoma State comes out, they go to work, and they create opportunities and they wear out this Missouri defense. And when the first line for Missouri comes out, to be honest, I mean, they're playing defense most of the time, at least in this late frame. So let's see if this mix and match line can do anything for Missouri. It's Menz who was on the 4th line, Houston who was on the 3rd line, and DeGroat who was on the 2nd line. So this has certainly been, yeah, that's a line we haven't seen tonight. A home run pass is iced.
Off the stick of number 21, Houston, who's had a hat trick tonight. He's looking for his 4th goal. Could it be the hero? We've got 1 minute and 51 seconds left here in this 3rd period. Tigers so far on the back foot throughout the entirety of this last frame. It's been rough for the box score at the very least. But they're going to look to redeem themselves here on face-off. They haven't been so strong on these teams.
Defensive zone draw won by the Tigers. They'll fire this one out again. It's a foot race. Oklahoma State will win it, but a good job by DeGroat. Oh, he scores! Blake Houston! I have no words! Look what we just saw! Out of nowhere! Between the legs!
Blake Houston puts it on the roof and blows the roof off this place. Washington Park Ice Arena is on fire.
This replay. I don't believe what I am seeing. 4 goals for Blake Houston, and that is the best goal I've ever seen in this rink.
The Tigers, we were just saying it, on the back foot. OSU attacking. Ethan DeGroat hustles into the zone. It looks like it's going to be an icing, but it trickles through the glove of the OSU defenseman. I believe it was Mogan. Mogan drops it. Can't get it to go. It's not an icing. DeGroat, foot race. They leave the puck. DeGroat finds Houston just in front of the net, and he puts it top shelf, right where Mama keeps the cookies, and it's 7-6 here in Washington Park.
Timeout taken by Oklahoma State, so we'll have a brief
Get to rest our
intermission
legs here. Let's reminisce, though. We've been broadcasting for 4 years together. Have you ever seen anything like that?
No. So a minute and 39 seconds also. I mean, to set the stage here, Missouri didn't score a goal in this period. They entered the period with 6 goals, and they've had a pretty sloppy third. Oklahoma State has controlled it. They had scored 2 to tie it, and then all the momentum. I mean, it felt like absolutely Oklahoma State was going to score the next goal. The first line couldn't do anything for Missouri, and then Blake Houston, out of absolutely space-age nowhere, comes in with the sickest between-the-legs goal I've seen at any level of hockey. And now Missouri just has to lock down for a minute and 39 seconds, and they've won this game. I mean, they've stolen it in this third period. My word. So, Mason, what do you think Missouri was discussing on that timeout? Because you know that with Oklahoma State, they're saying, you know, get to work offensively. They're obviously going to deploy those top guys. They got a few plays drawn up. What do you think is going to go through Missouri's mind as they've got that second line deployed?
Let's just talk about the exact same things we heard from our third period interview. Stay out of the box, stay out of the slot, and get pucks in deep. That's all you really need to hear with a minute left to go.
You absolutely don't take a penalty. With how Oklahoma State's attack has been, I don't think they even need to pull the goalie for a while. No, they're going to do it right now. Levis is skating to the bench. There's a high shot. Green with it, and it is 6-on-5. A broken stick and a goal. A goal is scored. A one-timer, the stick, it was broken, and it changed the trajectory of the puck to where Oklahoma State was able to put it in on the back door. A tremendously unlucky break for Missouri, and this game is 7-7 with 1:08 left. Wow.
Wow. Now we've really seen it all, haven't we?
We've seen it all.
Now we were talking about it, right? Stay out of the slot, stay out of the slot, stay out of the slot, stay out of the left face-off dot, and guess where they scored that one from? Left face-off dot, right across. Just the same playbook we've seen and the same line, Green, and Nelson.
It seems like Christoffel was playing where he thought that shot was going, but because the stick broke, the puck went in a completely different direction. It just happened to fall right onto the stick of a defender forward for Oklahoma State, and they chipped that one in. So this puck comes corralling out of the rink through the netting. So now you're thinking about overtime, right? And with how this game's gone, 56 seconds is a lot of time. We very well might have another goal, but
we could have 2.
We could have 2. But after that 6-on-5 goal, I mean, if this game goes overtime, it's 3-on-3, so that's a whole different ballgame. But
it's going to get pretty competitive real quick there.
I think each of these teams would like to end it in regulation, specifically Oklahoma State. I mean, let's see them go to work here. Oh, wow, that was a scary sequence for Missouri as this puck goes high and out. That was a scary sequence right there. Joey Christoffel at one point was turned around.
Oklahoma State has absolutely pounded the Tigers into a pulp these last 40 seconds. It's been terrible for the Tigers. They've left this top line of Green, Carafile, Nelson, and Jones out. And they've absolutely dominated the Tigers in this last 40 seconds, and it's been a goal. There could have been 3 more in the last 40.
Yeah, and they got to do a better job clearing the front of the net. You know, there's a shot off a body of save. Clear the front of the net. Get the puck away out of danger, because these second, third, fourth chance opportunities are going to bite them. First line out for Missouri. They just need to withstand this onslaught for 40 seconds and get to overtime, but they can't. Green, a one-timer, and that one goes off a stick and wide. Oklahoma State still. Another one-timer from Nelson. That one saved. Rebound. Scores! A rebound goal on the first line. And it's 8-7. Oklahoma State's first lead of the game comes with 15.4 seconds left. Unable to clear the front of the net. Oh, my word.
Wait. I hate to say it. But we open our mouths and we get punished for it, don't we? 8-7 here. Fans are starting to stand up. 15.4 seconds. I've seen crazier things happen. I do hope that they'd stick around and watch the end of this. You said it yourself, Oklahoma State needs to end this game in regulation, and it looks like they're going to do just that.
I mean, a complete domination for, honestly, the last 2 periods of play. Taken by Ethan DeGroat. Got a whistle with 9 seconds.
He's off sides there.
Yeah.
Ethan DeGroat looking to be the hero. He's certainly capable of it. We watched him growing up play at Francis Howell Central. He's got some mitts on him. He could have gone either D2 or D3 in the NCAA, but he's here with us in D2 ACHA looking to make his name known.
So, yeah, Chris Fell skating to the bench, so he's gone. So it's 6-on-5. Face off won by Oklahoma State, and they're going to fire this one down. Turned over. Here's a chance for the great shot. Save made. And some extracurricular